This is a short review of week 3, or the week 3 section of the study guide in Patrick Lecture 4, which is World Weariness versus Love and Prayer. And the third section of this lecture is why I felt that the entire lecture really was about love. And this section focuses on forcing currents, and how when we have forcing currents, we are actually pushing love away, where the forcing currents try to make us believe that if we just try harder and reach out and do this and do that, that we'll get the very love that we want. If we give and give and give, then we will get. Or if we make ourselves available, then we will get. But if there's a forcing current, the easiest way that I know how to explain forcing currents is there's a demand in there. And there's a demand because we don't think that we'll actually get what we deserve and need. So forcing currents are best explained in Patrick Lecture 77, which is entitled Self-Confidence. Now, that sounds paradoxical, and the guide says that paradoxes indicate a spiritual truth. So the reason you don't have self-confidence is because you secretly believe something's wrong with you, and you overcompensate for it. You try to move past it, and that moving past it engages what the guide terms a forcing current. Now, the forcing current is easily driven by ego, but it is joined in by negative forces. What do I mean by that? We have negativity within us. We've come here partly to purify that, so that the child consciousness or the ego can feel fairly innocent or naive about, I just want that. And the negative aspect in us that wants to avoid truth and engage in forcing currents, which will lead us away from love, will join in. Now, the way I visualize it is it's like a little submarine, and we've got this great idea, this wonderful sense of where we want to go and what we want to do, and the negativity just joins in. And several times the guide says that this is a very difficult thing to resist. When the thing that we most want in the world is joined by powerful forces, we believe that they will help us. We really don't believe that they would harm us. It's as if we're seduced or aligned to incorporate as much power as possible because we believe our goal is good. So that's a way to understand forcing currents. The other way I understand forcing currents is in my body. I'm very kinesthetic. So I feel something. I close my eyes and I feel the push or the pull or the manipulation or the movement. I do that also to determine fear, because fear, even though you're moving towards something, which sounds positive, fear is actually a way of avoiding something. So I feel like there's something in back of me that I don't want. I don't want. So the forward movement is not as honest as I think it is. It's actually an avoidance of something behind me. So I tease people about there's to find out what you're afraid of. Sometimes you have to peek over your shoulder and imagine what's back there that you wish to move away from. So forcing currents are creative, they're inventive. There's thousands and thousands of kinds of forcing currents. All of them are not genuine love. They may have started with genuine love, but they become embroiled with other forces. So that once you can learn to identify forcing currents in you, you'll be better able to differentiate the original cause, the original desire for love, the real genuine love that instigated action that then got taken over by a forcing current. Again, the forcing current can be fed by ego, it can be fed by child consciousness, it can be fed by negative thought or negative beliefs. So forcing currents push love away, and the first section of this study guide has a piece of the lecture that says when we push love away, then we can become very discouraged. I wanted love. I tried hard for love, and it moved further away. People got angry or upset. It didn't work out. And the result, the consequence of the forcing current pushing love away will be that we react, and we can react with world weariness. We can then go back into our negative beliefs. I guess I'm not good enough. I must not be worthy. So staying on trying to stay on the topic of genuine love. I went through an exercise once where somebody said that there were 100 best love songs. And I said, wow, that would be great for workshops to be able to play love songs. Could you send me a copy? They had collected them. So they sent me a copy of these MP3 files, World's Greatest Love Songs, 100 of them. And I looked through them from a pathwork lens, and it was awful. It was just awful. They were all codependent, pleading. They were awful. Now, we have fond memories of such songs. They have been part of our experience at various times of our life. So when I tried to come up with one for for example, in the lecture, I went back 50 years so that I wouldn't offend somebody today as much. And I found one called You're Nobody Until Somebody Loves You. Now, Dean Martin, that was one of his theme songs. And he would sing it with great feeling. I thought it was a lovely song, never thought about what the words meant. You're nobody till somebody loves you is an expression of I'm looking for somebody to love me so that I can feel appreciated, so I can appreciate my inner worth. That's all fine, except you really do have to listen to the words. And the words are, I'm nobody until somebody loves me. And that is a veiled demand. It's not about genuine love. That's about this has to happen so that this will happen so that I will feel this, instead of taking responsibility for not feeling that we are somebody. Now, a lot of modern dating processes are very difficult for most people because you get rejected. The speed dating, online dating, but even if you're set up with a friend, it's very difficult when it just doesn't click. It's not what I want. You feel a tremendous amount of social obligation towards the other person's feelings, or you feel a tremendous weight about if I connect with this person, if I have 2 or 3 dates with this person, I'll start feeling obligated and I don't want to. And it is difficult to differentiate that from rejection, from fear, from not having good boundaries, which many of us do not. And it is difficult to find the place where we were lonely. And so we experimented with meeting people, and it's going to be a hit or miss situation. And we're just going to have to be perfectly honest and let the chips fall where they may. Because no one wants somebody, in theory, no one wants someone who doesn't want them. So that the best thing that can happen in a meeting of that kind is that someone decides early on you're not good enough, and you can say, good, then we're done. Because if I'm not good enough in your eyes, then why would we continue? And the other works the same way. And yet, how do we tell that person that we feel no connection, or we're a little repelled by who they are? If you're told that, it sounds like a slap in the face. So back to real love. Somebody asked before I started this section, they said, I don't think I feel a lot of genuine love. And that's probably true because society doesn't put a lot of weight on pure, genuine love. I take a very practical approach or perspective about society. Society was not created for spiritual progress. Society was created for bettering the odds that we would survive physically, mentally, psychologically, and that we would have room to grow to some extent. But to grow spiritually, creatively, artistically, professionally, we still have to survive. And a lot of social, cultural customs are more about the survival of social structures than about the freedom of the individual. We may be getting to that place in the world, and if you look around, that's causing a great deal of friction because society doesn't know how to handle freedom. Now, the example that I have given in the past about freedom, because people, well, what are you talking about? We have freedom. Yes and no. We are taught, we are imprinted from a very early age about what to do and what not to do because it would hurt someone's feelings or would make them feel bad, and you shouldn't be doing that, and we must all fit in. Different cultures do that to different degrees. However, every culture does it because to have a cohesive society, just like to have a cohesive relationship, you've got to, somebody phrased this the other day, you've got to sand off the rough edges. Can't have everything. There are some compromises that need to happen. The dilemma is that each individual does not make this compromise. The compromise is decided by a larger, I want to say, grinding process. In other words, society decides what it can put up with and what's good for it and what's good for its members. And then it pushes ahead with that because it believes that's the right way to be. An individual comes along and says, yes, but I'd like this. And society may or may not know how to integrate that. In today's global society, we may be growing in freedom of thought and mind faster than society can adapt. And it's facing breakdown. So it fights back for its survival on the assumption that if it survives, you'll have a better chance of surviving. And this is a tension back and forth, just like in human relationships, in long-term relationships of any kind, family, friendship, intimate relationships, marriage. In all these relationships, there are parts that are easier than others, and there are parts where the compromises are painful. Genuine love has to survive for these changes to work. If genuine love gets sacrificed for the cohesion of the family or the relationship, then it becomes brittle. It becomes like a tree that died, and it will snap or break at some point. But if the genuine love continues to be healthy and strong, it'll weather bad decisions or bad compromises. Things can work out. I invite you to consider in your life, in your family, in your relationship, in your friendships, that you don't get everything your own way. And the ones that work out well, you find a way to be with that person or that group. And it is important to recognize where it doesn't fit so that you retain your boundaries and your preferences and give yourself some space to be your individual self. Keep in mind that our individual selves were not a priority for society for thousands and thousands of years. It was more important to eat and produce children and make things work in the factories and the armies than for an individual to be happy. So it's as if we're coming into a new age, And so sometimes it's very true. Well, what does genuine love look like? I advocate practicing, practice looking, practice examining, practice getting to the point where you read a song title and you have layers and layers of impressions. The first impression may be when you heard it, and it was a lovely, soft, you had lovely feelings about this song. And then it became ordinary, or it changed, and then one day you look at it and you read the words and go, oh dear, that's terrible. So song titles, popular love song titles, are a great place to practice looking at whether this is genuine love or a demand or a complaint or a place where the ego has a concept and it wants that concept fulfilled at any cost. And by practicing seeing this, I also practice with films. So I use a lot of films in teaching. They are microcosms of our social situations, and they illustrate a point really well, so that several people can watch the same thing, and you'll find that several people have different takes on it depending upon their experience. So all of this is about how it is important to determine for yourself what genuine love feels like and where you're not actually advocating it in your life. Instead, you are substituting forcing currents or social mores or social concepts or idealistic concepts of love, and where you're really afraid that you won't get your needs met. Pathwork taught me to believe that I was a divine being and that I came here for a reason and that things are going to work out so that I will learn, not so I will be happy. Happy is different from learning. Learning will give you long-term happiness, but it may not give you short-term happiness. It's painful to learn some things. It can take a decade to learn something that we are resistant to. I'm suggesting to you that genuine love drives us into that 10-year learning process. We may not see it or feel it. We may not be able to put our fingers on it, but genuine love is what's driving us. Love for what is in our highest good. Love for what is in the highest good of all, because if I learn, if I grow and develop, I will be able to help others, even if it's only as being a model to others. So I don't have to teach them. I don't have to drag them with me. Sometimes it helps for a child, for instance, to simply see a different way of being and living. And the child says, wow, that's another from my catalog. So I think I've covered it. If you're listening to this on the YouTube channel thingy, thank you for listening. And my goal is always to have you read the lecture, which is Pathwork Lecture 4, World Weariness versus Love and Prayer. So I'm going to shift over now to the meeting.